recycled materials. Adventurous people who care about the earth will love our product. And as well as many of you guys, we want to care for the earth that God gave us. That's why Reboard uses 100% recycled materials.
Our mission is to create skis and snowboards made of durable, repurposed materials to help decrease pollution. Our values are safety, quality, responsibility, and giving. The safety of our customer is number one. We want to protect those who use our boards. The quality and standards of our products are high, and we want it to function perfectly. We want nothing half-hearted. The responsibility of our employees is to have an attitude of passion for their work and give 100% on what they build. Giving back to the world is so important to preserve its beautiful environment that was given to us. The Bible talks about how we should treat the world. The following verses show some examples of what we should do and what we did do. Numbers 35:33a. You shall not pollute the land in which you live in. And Jeremiah 2:7. I brought you into a plentiful land to enjoy its fruits and its good things. But when you came in, you defiled my land and made my heritage an abomination. We have consumed so much trash that has damaged the earth, though through recent decades people have been educated on what it has been doing to the earth and have been acting upon it. Reboard's vision is to contribute to cleaning up pollution around the world while making something out of it. The Products Lifecycle starts out at Portland Junkyards, where we go and collect materials we'll need to make the snowboards and skis. Then we use a Penske truck to take the materials back to Reboard warehouses in Hood River, Oregon. Lastly, the new made products are transported into a warehouse where they are sold. We obtain our materials from different Portland junkyards. A few, for example, are R&S, David's Recycling, Gresham, Gresham Auto Wrecking, A to Z Auto Wrecking in Gresham, and 205 Salvage. Many businesses that produce snowboards and skis dump recycling, wasting raw materials. But Reboard is looking toward wasting less and keeping the environment clean. Reboard offers multiple different boards for sale and all at a cheaper price than many other businesses. Reboard is choosing to stay local in Hood River and has partners with Doug's in Hood River, Oregon. We plan to sell our skis and snowboards in their store located downtown Hood River. Reboard also offers many different designs and a chance to personalize your snowboard and skis with Build a Board.
Build a Board is a program located in the first-story lobby and inside our warehouse. The program is an opportunity for customers to bring in their own recycled materials from their own houses and use them to design and create their own boards and skis. Build a Board is a great hands-on way for us to educate our customers about recycling and how to be good stewards of God's kingdom. Our warehouse will be located in Odell, Oregon, where there is a buildable lot available. Our warehouse will be a 3-story, 3,600 square foot building. On the first story, we plan on putting our storage area, lobby, and Build a Board program. On the second story, we will have our factory where all of our products are made, and the third story will be rented out and also be available for future expansion. We will also have a 10x10 storage unit in Hood River to store our snowboards and skis. This storage unit is between our Odell warehouse and Doug's, making it easy to access our merchandise.
So how does this new technology work? To make these snowboards, we use high-density polyethylene and steel. We get these from plastic lids and also food cans. As you can see on the board, the steel is on the outside of the board and it's used to keep the protection and to help maneuver. It gives it strength. And then the high-density polyethylene is on the outside as the plastic. It also has fiberglass and wood as its core, and those are both recyclable, and it's used to strengthen the board. Like Shelby said, we will have a 3-story building in Odell, and we will make 2,400 boards a year. That is our estimate. We will have 4 employees there working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for 9 months, starting from halfway in March to the end of halfway through December. This way they can enjoy 3 months on the mountain, enjoying skiing and snowboarding. We will, though, be still selling snowboards all year round. That's just our manufacturing stopping. Finances. Our finances to start up everything we mentioned and also have a commercial vehicle transport will be around $705,000. And then counting our yearly cost, which will include taxes, utilities, maintenance, insurance, security, and other things like gas and the cars getting repaired on, our renting of the storage unit will be somewhere around $321,040. Our yearly income that we plan to make off of selling the 2,400 snowboards is somewhere around $660,000. So if we take the yearly cost and subtract that from the yearly makings, you get the total income, which is somewhere around $338,960. With this amount of money income, we plan to basically pay off our startup fees in a little over 2 years. And then from there on, we'll become millionaires. The sky is our limit. We want to make it very clear that our snowboards, our solely purpose is to sell them for cheaper. We're selling them for around $300, which is $150 cheaper than the average board. And with the Build a Board program, since the people bring in their own recycled materials, it'll be around $250, making a more sustainable price for families to afford. And using recycled material reduces our cost of materials about 25%. But we believe that recycling is not the solution to reducing the amount of trash being created every year. Don't get me wrong, recycling helps, but it's like taking a lie and calling it a half lie, but it's still a lie. It's basically ignoring the elephant in the room. It is merely putting the elephant in the closet and sweeping away the tracks. Today, across the world, and especially in America, we have made a generation of consumers, taking more than we need, and valuing things that are worthless. Today, we have things that just take up space and we put them on display. Today, we buy more food than we consume. Today, we waste more time than we should. How are we going to fix the trash in our world if we won't even talk about the trash in our homes? Yesterday, we made today's generation. Today, we decide what tomorrow's will be. But we live in a broken world, so if you try to get rid of all the trash, it won't ever happen. But that does not mean we should not do our part in restraining the amount of trash being produced. You see, that is why I'm personally glad this world is not my home. And that is why we believe the solution to trash we create is education. Teaching people to be stewards of the earth. That is also why we value the opportunities that come with this board program, Reboard. And what we value the most is our customers. In every purchase, we give them an instruction booklet, which includes the gospel message. And with Matthew 6:26, look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? With that verse in mind, we came up with a saying that we put on every board that says, even trash is priceless in the right hands. Whose hands are you in? Any questions?
I have a question about your product, your recycling materials. You're going to go to the junkyards. How do you sort out what trash is useful versus not useful under that model, and how do you do that efficiently?
So, we have people going to the junkyards that are looking at the scraps and materials that we need, and part of our plan is to educate them before they go to the junkyards so that they know what they're looking for, that it's quality.
I've never been to a junkyard. Most junkyards I've seen or heard of are in books because a lot of cool, crazy stuff that happens in junkyards. Like, I don't know, sorry, rant. Oh, anyway, do you know the process of getting access to a junkyard? Is there a cost involved? Are there safety procedures that you need to observe? I don't know anything about it. Do you guys know about that?
So yes, there is a small fee to get into the junkyard so that you may like take the things out. And the fee is based on what you take out of the junkyard. And sorry, I only remembered like one part of your question.
Okay, so the people collecting the trash will be your employees. How will you ensure that they are that they're safe in the junkyard and like health-wise, cuts, tetanus, all that stuff?
So part of our program is to have insurance for our workers so that if they do get injured on the job that they will be able to go see a doctor and not and be covered. So.
In the papers we handed out to you guys, I have some more in depth of the budget, and it's included in there what kind of insurance.
Thank you. I have a question for the group, and it's this. It looked like, looking at the cross section of your board, that it's largely made from wood and fiberglass, and then there's steel and some plastics. Presumably, competing boards, the steel that is in them is largely recycled, because steel is largely a recycled product, and the fiberglass and wood you'll be purchasing. So I guess the question is, in a board that you would make, how much material do you think is actually in the board that is recycled that wouldn't have been?
I think it'd be like 40 to 50% recycled, like mostly recycled material. Probably like 25%, 15 to 25% of fiberglass, and the wood would be probably 30%, and then the steel probably like 10 or 15.
Plastic is the biggest majority.
Right.
Hey, didn't I see you on ESPN last week? Was that the highlight of some of your runs? No, wasn't okay. I was mistaken. I'm sorry. A couple of questions about the durability of the boards, and also, should one break, what's the process for replacement? So talk about the durability of the boards, and then if one breaks, what do you do? What's your guarantee?
Yeah, the durability is practically the same as a normal snowboard. There isn't much difference to it. It's just the way of making it. It's a little different. For if it breaks or that, we'll have a return policy. But it's very unlikely for snowboards to break. That's usually during like big crashes and stuff like that.
Another question from the audience. What about the boots? Are you making those, or that's
We were planning on it, but a lot of the boots are already recyclable, and it was just a lot of extra fees for a small business like us starting up and getting those machines to build those, and just the labor to do that and the space for that. So we decided to take that out.
Someone in the audience asked about emissions in your factory, and I had a similar question. What's your plan to process like the plastic lids, turn them into the clips or whatever? And did you look into the impact of that on the environment?
Yeah, so those are melted, and the temperature that they're melted at does not release any bad chemicals into the air, and it's really safe to do. A lot of people actually use high density polyethylene in their homes and form stuff out of it.
This is from the audience. How would you educate the people when the majority of educational systems will not allow the necessary biblical impact to be taught by the teachers?
That's why as a business, we have Build a Board program, which is a great learning opportunities for families to come in and to have a hands-on experience with the recycling and how it affects the environment, and just have that experience in a place. And we want to build it locally here in Hood River to have that personal marketing and personal connections with people to be able to educate them here. I also forgot to mention with the finances, I talked to a lady from USA Funding Finances thing, and she said we would be able to apply for a lot of grants and fundings from the government, so that would help with our fees. I asked her about an estimate of money, and she couldn't give me one, but she said there would be a lot of help that would be possible for our business.
I think you said this to me in the rehearsal, but maybe bring it up for the group. How are you going to compete with other snowboards, and other snowboard companies?
Yeah, our snowboards are a lot cheaper than the average snowboard, and because we use recycled material, and then also when you saw how we can make a lot of money after 2 years once we pay off our startup fees, a lot of that money will be used into making the snowboards even cheaper, making a snowboard that's cheaper for families to use and more affordable.
Are you hiring truck drivers, or are they employees?
That's just our local employees.
These also have to do with the leftover materials that you get from the scrap yard that you don't use. What's going to happen to that? And then there's another smelting process question about are you doing the melting of the metal yourself? If you could address that.
Yeah, we'll be melting the steel and the high density polyethylene there in our business. And for leftover stuff, we have storage units that we talked about, one in between the Hood River base, or Doug's, and our shop in Odell. And so we'll be storing stuff for that because we can use as much as we can get.
Did you copy the name from R-E-cycle? If I was you, your answer should be, hey, talk to our attorneys.